Get ready because the most beloved ogre in cinema is back. After years of waiting, we finally have confirmation that Shrek 5 is on the way, set to premiere in the summer of 2026. It looks like DreamWorks is planning something epic to surprise us, bringing back that magical and humorous world that won our hearts back in 2001. But what can we expect this time? Will Shrek and Fiona be able to handle the surprises and challenges that lie ahead? At the end of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, we got a hot hint that drove fans wild. Puss and his friends are heading to the far, far away kingdom, which can only mean one thing: Shrek 5 is coming. This time, it seems we'll be exploring a new side of Shrek's life, with him and Fiona facing the adventure of being parents to teenagers. Can you imagine? Despite all the new updates over the years about the script, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding what we can expect in Shrek 5. After everything we saw in Shrek Forever After, where Shrek and Fiona finally reached the long-awaited happily ever after, it's clear that something truly grand must happen to shake up the peaceful life they've built. One intriguing possibility for the new story is exploring the lives of Shrek and Fiona's children. Now older and likely in their teenage years, these young ogres must be full of energy and curiosity about the fairy tale world. And we know that this can lead to many adventures, and of course plenty of mischief. Shrek and Fiona, who have faced so many challenges, will now have to tackle something even more complicated, dealing with 3 teenagers with strong wills. Remember how Shrek had to overcome his fear of being a parent in the 3rd film? And how he dealt with family life challenges in the 4th film? Well, now he'll have to figure out how to be a good father to 3 teenagers, who will certainly bring many new challenges and, perhaps, put Shrek in more dangerous situations than he's ever faced before. The tranquility of Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey will be disrupted by a new threat that will force them into an unprecedented adventure, full of dangers. Get ready for a journey packed with twists and thrilling moments that will keep us on the edge of our seats. DreamWorks is putting a lot of effort into every detail of Shrek 5, and the studio wants to ensure this return is nothing short of spectacular. This time, Walt D is directing, who has already showcased his talent in the 3 Trolls animations, and was also part of the creative team behind the scripts for Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, and Shrek Forever After. With that, we can be sure of a super fun story full of that humor we love. The most exciting news is that Shrek 5 is set to hit theaters on July 1st, 2026. That means it will have been 14 years since we last saw our favorite green ogre in action on the big screen. To make us even more excited, Eddie Murphy, who voices Donkey since the 1st film, revealed in an interview with Collider some spine-tingling news. Not only did he confirm that Shrek 5 is indeed on the way, but he also mentioned that a solo Donkey movie is coming. Just imagine the mishaps and laughs that are headed our way. Eddie revealed that work on the new film began about 5 months ago. He has already recorded the 1st act, and the plan is to have everything finished by the end of this year. Shrek 5 is coming, and even better, Donkey will soon have his own film. Eddie mentioned he is currently recording Shrek and expects the film to be released in 2025. So, once it's out, we can look forward to Donkey's solo adventure. In Shrek 5, some themes that could be explored interestingly while maintaining the essence of the previous films include family life and the growth of the children. Shrek and Fiona will have to deal with the changes that come with their children's adolescence, facing typical parenting challenges such as identity issues, independence, and the impact of their children's choices on their own lives. They might face common dilemmas like finding the balance between giving their kids freedom and protecting them from the world's dangers. One of Shrek's children might be going through an identity crisis trying to find their place in the world, which would lead Shrek and Fiona to confront their own insecurities and reflect on the journey of self-discovery they've undergone over the years. This theme could be developed through a personal journey where this character faces internal and external challenges in search of their true identity. Additionally, it would be interesting to see Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, and Puss in Boots teaming up to face a great challenge that can only be overcome through collaboration and the strength of friendship. The film could focus on how the group works together, overcoming misunderstandings and leveraging each other's strengths to achieve their goal. And of course, Kitty and Perito's participation would be essential to add that extra dose of charisma and humor. It would also be great to include a special appearance by Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, bringing a touch of nostalgia and expanding the fairy tale universe we all love. It would be amazing to see Shrek and his friends exploring new fairy tales or revisiting some classics in a completely unexpected way. A character that could bring an interesting dynamic to the plot is Arthur, who hasn't appeared since the 3rd film. I really miss him and think it would be a great opportunity to show what happened to Arthur and how his relationship with Shrek evolved over the years. As with Arthur's return, we could see how the fairy tale kingdom is undergoing significant changes, perhaps with new rules or transformations that challenge traditions. This could put Shrek and Fiona in a difficult position, where they would have to fight to preserve what they love or learn to adapt to the new norms. A rivalry between Shrek and Arthur could arise, especially if Arthur is promoting changes that go against what Shrek believes is best for the kingdom. And moreover, it would be wonderful to see more development of the princesses. So far, the only one who has had a bit more spotlight is Rapunzel, who allied with Prince Charming. Her return would be an interesting addition to the story, either as an ally or antagonist. And of course, it would be nice to see the princesses playing a more active role in Fiona's daily life, not just appearing on occasions like the baby shower. This would give more depth to the female characters and enrich the Shrek universe with new interactions and stories to tell. Our villains are truly the soul of Shrek's adventures, bringing the tension and challenges that make the story shine. In Shrek 5, introducing new villains or bringing back old ones with a new twist could be exactly what the plot needs to stand out. Imagine, for instance, the return of the wicked fairies, like the iconic fairy godmother from Shrek 2. What if they found a way to unite their powers and concoct an even more diabolical plan to throw the fairy tale kingdom into chaos? Additionally, the idea of a villain with a direct connection to Shrek's family could add an emotional and complex layer to the narrative. Perhaps this villain has a personal vendetta against Shrek and Fiona, something that drives them to try to destabilize the family to achieve their own goals. It would be even more interesting if this antagonist were a former ally, or someone with a dark past with Shrek, someone Shrek trusted, but who turned against him. And now, speaking of ogres, in the fourth film, Shrek Forever After, we were introduced to an alternate world where Shrek discovers that he is not the only ogre. In this parallel universe, we meet other ogres living in a community separate from humans and the life Shrek knew until then. However, when Shrek returns to his original world at the end of the film, all these ogres are there as well. This raises many questions about where these other ogres were during the events of the previous films. It would be fascinating to see Shrek 5 explore the whereabouts of these other ogres, and explain why Shrek seemed to be the only one of his kind for so long. Perhaps these ogres were hiding, living in secret to avoid confrontations with humans, or maybe they were enforced to exile by some powerful villain. Bringing these characters back and integrating them into the story could create new dynamics and further expand the Shrek universe, adding more depth to the ogre mythology and Shrek himself. As the gathering of the ogres could be a central and decisive point in Shrek 5, imagine Shrek needing to join forces with his kind to face a threat that jeopardizes not only his family, but the entire fairy tale kingdom. This approach would open doors to explore more about ogre culture and dynamics while keeping the story centered on powerful themes like friendship, unity, and cooperation. We could see Shrek leading an unexpected alliance, showing that even the most unlikely heroes can shine when the situation demands. But the harsh truth is, when it comes to Shrek 5, predicting what will happen is nearly impossible. DreamWorks has kept the plot under such tight wraps that any speculation is just a shot in the dark. All we know so far leaves many questions unanswered. What will be the new challenge that Shrek and Fiona will face? How will their teenage children, who are likely taking their first steps into adulthood, be involved in this adventure? Will new villains make an appearance, or perhaps deep secrets about the ogre past come to light? As we eagerly await to discover what's in store for Shrek and his crew, I'm thrilled about the solo Donkey film. Eddie Murphy, who has voiced Donkey since the first film, has confirmed that this project is underway, and that alone is reason to. At isinte using to the sa king wali sa kaysar.